lay my head back down, and I open my eyes, and I can't see. Okay, fine. Why not? All right? I won't quit. I won't stop. You think I feel like it? No. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, or for the first time, to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. How the heck are you? Happy to be here with you guys, dude and dudettes, okay? People of the world. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I am so far off my game, okay? I'm so far out of the loop. Here's the game, I'm off it. Here's the loop, here's me, over here. I'm not in it, okay? Like, things are just not clicking, firing on all cylinders. Not even any of the cylinders. There's just fire, and it's burning, and it's melting every thought process and chance of speaking that I have, okay? I'll get down to the nitty-gritty and the brass tacks, whatever that is, in just a minute. But just know, okay, that I don't know where I'm going, so buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This will be an episode, okay? The greatest, the worst, one of, okay? For sure, it will be. So yeah, I'm facing a lot of challenges right now. And for a multitude of reasons. Are the excuses completely valid and great? No, not at all. But I'll give them to you anyway, okay? One of which is my sleeve keeps rolling up. You know when your sleeves are just like a little bit different than the other, and you know, like, I don't have OCD, all right? But if I did, I mean, I guess I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing right now. So who's to say, okay? And also, my hair is just, it's been all over the place now. I know it looks beautifully coiffed at the moment and quiffed. And I like my hair to be a certain amount of disheveled and crazy. But as it's gotten longer, it's kind of waving curliness. If it's long and waving curly, it's like out to here. Okay, so I have to condense it and make it look all neat and pristine and nice. And I'm not that guy, okay? I don't like the best finish. See? All right? People with nice hair, they speak clearly. Me? Okay? I'm more Tasmanian devil, and I like to look the part. So anyways, that's just a couple of the reasons. My brother's in the other room. That's kind of throwing me off. Not because I'm going to talk bad about him, but I just like to have the option, you know? And then I had this thing, okay, my little SD card adapter pieces for the camera or whatever, and I couldn't find it. It was lost, so I'm scrambling around. I'm trying to find this thing. I'm thinking I can't even do the podcast right now, even though I don't feel ready to do it in the first place. I don't even have the option to. Now, lest ye forget, we have never missed an episode, and I don't plan on doing it today, so even in my worst mid-90th hour, you know, I'm still persevering and trying to get after it, but there's just a lot of things going against me, and those things, they're all small, and they don't really matter, but they stack up. And the biggest one is that my routine, like my life routine, has just been so out of whack lately. Like, I haven't, like, I like to wake up at the same time. I like to eat the same foods. I like to work at the same time. I like to freaking work out and do the same exercises. And I'm a creature of habit, okay? And I threw all that out the window. And I just feel like I'm wandering. Like, I just can't quite get into the zone. So it's very late, actually, today. And that's mostly because I spent most of the day just like, what do I do next? Like, I don't know where the next, like, you know, you're like climbing a ladder and you know where each thing is. You're used to climbing this ladder where each rung I'll hit. Bang, bang, bang. I feel like I'm climbing a ladder where all the footholes and the hands and the rungs are just differently spaced, okay? Some are even, some are odd, and I can't really get used to it. So I'm like looking down, like, what's next? Where do I go? So it's very late, and that also contributes to the fact that I'm like, how do I think? How do I fire? Where's the thing? Like, it's a whole pickle. And then finally, dude, now again, all of these excuses, you can chalk it up amongst yourselves, okay? You guys can just have a nice little group meeting. Were those excuses valid? Was he making a lot of sense? I feel like he was just throwing some people under the bus and trying to make something. I don't think he had it. Maybe so. But anyways, among all those things, like my routine, is that I've been eating so poorly, just so crappy. Now, again, I like to eat the same things, but I probably a month, okay? Like, just a long time of just eating like crap. I threw everything out the window and ordered and taken. So I've just been eating so bad. So today I'm doing a 24-hour fast. And that's another contributing factor to the that's going on in my brain. Like just dial up internet, just start trying to find files where like I can't think properly. I can't find the next sentence. Like I'm juggling a bunch of different words. I'm like, where's that one? Yes, and I can't get them all. So yeah, I'm fasting because apparently that's good for your gut biome, whatever that is. I've never even heard the word biome used outside of Minecraft, but they say it's good to do 24 hours, kind of a cleanse. But yeah, just kind of just whatever that does. So 24 hours, I got to do that. And I'm not loving it at all. I'm hungry. And all I've had is water. And it's a little impolite to drink on the podcast because you drink so fast, you feel like you're drowning. But yeah, so there's things, man. There's things just going on. And I should have gotten to the podcast one yesterday when I wasn't fasting and my hair felt fine and I didn't feel like it was late and I knew where this thing was and when things were going right. Okay, so if things are going well-ish for you right now and you're thinking maybe there'll be a better time tomorrow, maybe things will just click a little bit better, they won't. Okay, things seem to just only fall apart worse, so take your chance when you can get it. And maybe if you don't even have the chance there, just, sometimes you're like waiting for the right shot. Don't even wait for, just fire, dude. All right? If you're just riding, you're like, I'm riding horseback and I wait for it. No, just fling, because you have more arrows. Just keep taking shots. Dude, yeah, I feel wild. But hopefully this will be enjoyable for you guys, nonetheless. So what has been going on lately? What has my story been like outside of eating so poorly, and just not being dialed in? Where's my routine at? I had another problem, and this kind of like shook up to my week. I was going to do the podcast 2 days ago, Tuesday. And I went to the dentist. Okay. Now we know I frequent the dentist for some reason. I've gone there to get cleanings, and it feels like I'm there all the time, but really it's only every 6 months. But yeah, I went to the dentist to get a filling. Routine. I haven't had a filling in a while, but it was the same cavity that I kind of had to tell the people about. I'm like, hey, there's a cavity back there. And they go, I don't think so. I'm like, yeah, I've come here for like twice now, and no one said anything, but I know there's a cavity, so should I get a filling? And I didn't want to say this. Nobody wants to bring up bad news and bring up an error. Like, hey, by the way, shouldn't I work out? And the personal trainer's like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you know what? Let's make a plan. Oh, why did I say anything? So... yeah, I finally got this filling scheduled, and I go in there, okay, and I think it's just going to be routine. Like, I haven't done them in a while, but I remember getting fillings as a kid. They weren't any, big issue. So what's crazy, this thing, it goes downhill so fast, because I go in to sit down. No weird guys in the lobby this time, but I go in to sit down, and immediately he starts numbing me up with some sort of paste. I've never had this done before. It's like purple. I'm new. Like, I haven't had cavities in a while, okay? Because I've had them, but they didn't say anything. So he's giving me this little paste stuff, and he's looking at my cavity and goes, wow, it's very deep. It's pretty close down to the nerves. Like, you should have done something about this a long time ago. I go, what? Dude, you're in charge of that. I should have to self-report. You're like, you have x-rays. You've looked in my mouth more than I ever have, okay? I keep talking, my mouth's always open. See something, and then say something. So anyways, he's kind of like critiquing the fact that I've waited too long. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just really hoping to get it done, because you don't want to be on the bad side of the dentist who's bringing in tools. So I'm like, yeah, you're totally right, dude. And anyways, they finish with this stupid paste. I'm like, this is weird. This isn't going to do any numbing, but I feel it a little bit. And then he busts out the freaking 3-foot syringe. And I haven't had one in a while, but even when I did, I remember that they used to use the Novocaine and they would shoot it near the tooth. Okay, my tooth was like right here. This is the one I needed a filling on. And for whatever reason, he goes all the way into the back, not even in my teeth, but like freaking in the jaw. and he shoots it, and I feel like the needle is traveling up into my brain, okay? And he goes, you're going to feel a slight pinch. I'm like, yeah, already there, dude, already there. And then whatever he releases, I feel fire traveling up, and I close my eyes, just trying to not, bite down on this needle. I'm like, okay, geez, it's over. I got the goo and the syringe, okay? He's like, this is a new type of numbing we have. I'm like, oh, well, at least... Why? Because I still got it both ways. And he pulls out another one. He's like, well, we got to do it a second pinch. I feel the same freaking fire traveling up. Like, I thought I should be numb by now. And then he does it a third time that I'm still pretty numb by this, so I don't feel it as much, but I know that it's there. And I just feel so much pain. And I'm freaking out with the pain, man, because it's so hot and heavy. And he's like, okay, you can relax. So I lay my head back down, and I open my eyes, and I can't see. I lost my freaking vision. Well, kind of. I had like two different, split screen. I had a vision over here. I had vision over here. Nothing was lining up. I couldn't correct. I was like, oh, hey, I can't see right now. And he goes, oh, that should go away. The least reassuring way you could ever say anything. By the way, this is the same weird dentist that was rubbing my teeth around going, you got some nice teeth there. So I'm not comforted. I'm not okay. My heart's racing. There's so much pain traveling up. That's the opposite of what numbing should be doing. I shouldn't be feeling more pain. And I feel my heart is just about to explode, and I try to stay calm and cool under pressure. Now, is that working entirely because I opened the show up complaining the fact that my hair wasn't in line? Maybe not, okay? But I'm trying to stay calm. I feel it rising, and my mom has had problems with her vision because there's a blood pressure problem or whatever in the family. So I'm thinking maybe it's genetic. What if my blood pressure goes even higher? Maybe I'm going to do some permanent damage. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm thinking just calm, just peace, tranquility. But it's very hard to do when the guy just stabs you with something, you lose your vision, and he walks away. And I'm like, hey, I can't see. And he goes, that should be okay. I'm going to go over here for a minute. Hey, this freaking kid lost his vision. And nothing, never, that's happened to me. That happens quite frequently. I know maybe it was because I didn't shoot the freaking thing where it's supposed to be. Maybe because I shot it up in your brain, and he's wiggling around trying to get it up in there. Dude! This was the worst experience out the gate, okay? So now I'm panicking. My tongue, it feels like it's swelling because of its numbness, and that's already making the breathing harder. And I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm trying to panic attack. I'm alone in the dentist, and I can't see, dude. And I want to Google. Hey, how common is this? Do people lose their sight when they go to get a filling? I'm pretty worried, and I can't see my phone. It's like as cross-eyed as you could ever be. I would hold up my phone, and I would see two of them over here. Like, oh, how freaking. Oh, and it was terrible. Now, obviously, I'm not cross-eyed at the moment, and my eyes do work, or maybe I didn't specify. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm just staring off like, hey, guys, welcome back to Full Circus. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. But, yeah, things did get better after about 45 minutes or so. I spent a long time just going like this, trying to do the whole trick alone, and no one gave a crap about what was happening to me. Then eventually they came back, and he was like, we're really glad that we got to this filling today because it was close. You got to do better about that. I'm like, hey, yeah, my vision came back, by the way. He goes, oh, that's great, actually. Oh, good. I was like, you can't sigh, dude. You can't sigh about that. And there was a lot of uhs and ums and things that you can't do as a professional, okay? There are certain things when you are doing a procedure or any type of surgery, I don't want to hear, how do you, what? I need to, even if you are questioning, I need complete and total confidence out of the guy who's leading the charge, okay? If you're leading a war and you're like, okay, what do you, I'm like, Sergeant? No. What are you doing, Captain? So I'm not thrilled about that. I was very concerned. Imagine you go skydiving and, you have to do the tandem one where the guy's behind your back and you guys start free falling. You're like, hey, everything's great. I'm with a trusted professional. And you're like, when are we going to pull the thing? What's going on? He goes, oh, holy crap. Let me think about this. This should be routine. I don't like questions, man. I want certainty, calm, and complete sentences, dude. No more ahs and ums. So eventually, we get this freaking filling done, and I'm not confident in him. I'm not confident that my eyesight's going to come back. I'm just trying to breathe and be normal, and I have zero answers, and everybody is unsure just as much as I am, and it was a nightmare for a filling, dude. It's a freaking filling. It's the least routine thing that could have ever happened. So that was how it went. All right, and I have to go back because I had to tell him again. I was like, hey, I feel like there's another cavity on the other side. Actually, I told him beforehand, but they're like, we got this one cavity we got to get to. I was like, didn't we come up that we had two? We have one on each side? And they go, oh, okay, yeah, we'll reschedule. Dude, I don't know who I got as a dentist and what this office is, but the service is not top-notch, okay? There's top-notch. Bottom notch. These guys are bottom notch, dude. I'm not thrilled, and I got to go back there and pray to God, Lord, protect me. I don't lose my eyesight, one, at all, but two, permanently. Oy vey, man. So I was not too thrilled about it. So I feel like that's a worthy excuse in terms of like why I didn't do the podcast in the middle of the week. It's because I was like, I can't see, and I feel sick, and I've never had I was bleeding as well. I've never had a bunch of blood. I couldn't feel anything, but I noticed they brought out a bunch of like cotton swabs, and like, we gotta get this blood. I'm like, blood? What? Weren't you in the tooth? The tooth doesn't bleed. And I've never had blood with any routine fillings. But I just feel like they were so aggressive. They did cut my tongue. I felt that even with the numbness and my lip. And yeah, dude, bottom notch service all around to these guys. They didn't do a great job. I was not thrilled. But maybe, listen, again, I haven't had a filling in a while, so maybe that's the standard. Maybe people normally go blind, and I just wasn't in on it. But I wasn't happy with the experience. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. So if you have a filling, I guess keep it to yourself. Like during the part where I was blind, I'm trying to calm down. I was like, dude, I told him, I was like, I'll keep the cavity, okay? Like, I don't want to do anything else. You're going to hit me, I'm going to start losing my hearing. I actually did start feeling like some throbbing in there. It's just, there's so much, dude. There's so much. I hope I'm telling the story as scary as it was, because I actually was terrified. And I tried to be scared, okay? I try to be brave and calm. But I wasn't. I was terrified. So anyways, yeah, that was how I ended February. But you know what, guys? Welcome to March. All right, March is usually a great month for me. Maybe that's because it's, the luck of the Irish, or because I have many, many Shamrock Shakes. But I try to have a great month, and I hope you guys have a fantastical March as well. So hopefully we can leave all evil, bad, poor dentist behind. Yeah, so that's what's been going on. Is there anything else I missed? I don't think so. Yeah, that's why I didn't get to the podcast, but also, it's not a great excuse because it was fine today, but then I was just hungry and I didn't do it. So that's actually, dude, my shirt is tucked in, all right? I got a belt on, and I'm wearing shoes, okay, inside. And again, it's the middle of the night. I'm doing all these things. Why? Because I want to? No, okay, because I'm trying to find some semblance of normalcy, or when you feel like crap, you have to dress like you don't. It's kind of like my theory, what I've talked about before. Like, your hair can be super crappy, but if you dress nice, people go, that was on purpose, wasn't it? But if you are dressed poorly, then even if your hair's nice, they go, luck, you didn't mean to do that. So anyways, I got the watch on, of course. It's still high noon, and that's what it is. Why is the watch always on the offhand? I haven't worn a watch really ever, and I had to look it up. I was like, what hand should I wear the watch on? It's like, do not wear it on your dominant hand. You need your dominant hand because, you're going to be doing stuff with it. This way you can check your watch. I feel like that was the craziest. Now, again, I'm wearing it on my non-dominant hand, but also it's just interesting logic to be like, we need our dominant hand to go and do something. Like, if I'm doing something and I need to, let me just check the time. One, that's inefficient and it's unprofessional. Okay, you should be doing the thing that you're doing without checking it. But also, if I'm doing something, I'm not multitasking, and I gotta, what am I, bowling? Let me make sure I can check my watch. Okay, I don't get what the point. I'm chopping cucumbers, right? Chop, chop, chop. Oh, good thing it's on my non-dominant hand. 7:30. Chop, chop, chop. Oh, it's 8:30 now. It's a long time to chop cucumbers, but I feel like my dominant hand is, if it's gonna be doing something, it's the wrist that's doing something. I feel like it's usually in point of view. I'm carrying bags, and I go, oh dang, look at that. It's still high noon. I actually don't get why it's on the non-dominant hand. There was actually, whatever the logic I was receiving made less sense for me. So if you guys want to start a revolution with me, I think we start wearing watches on the dominant hand, okay? I want strength to go BAM! See that? Also, like, I want to be doing, like, you shake someone's hand, you go, see that nice watch there? I don't know. I feel like the non-dominant hand is just out of the way. It's less of a focal point. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. But yeah, freaking, whoa, it's 7:30. I wasn't going to be able to see that because it was down there. Yeah. I'm a bowler. Okay, that's the reason I came up with that. I could have said football or baseball or something more athletic, but I was like, yeah, the first sport I could think of is bowling. Let me make sure I can bowl. I feel like, it's still athletic. It is. It's great. It's not. Well, you know what? Not athletic, but I was thinking about this earlier. I feel like swimming, there aren't enough chances to show off if you're a swimmer, okay? I feel like every other sport, you're like, oh, let me kick this ball around, or I'll throw this thing into the trash, or I've got some sort of agility, I do this or that, like, I'm checking on my watch. Like, I feel like other sports get a chance to kind of show off in traditional life. Now, if you're swimming, like, yeah, you can tread water or whatever, but no one's ever like, hey, you want to watch me do a butterfly for 300 meters? Like, there's never a chance for swimmers to get their recognition in the wild, okay? And people are always crapping on swimming, saying it's unathletic or it's the only sport that doesn't require hand-eye coordination. This is other people, not me. I'm not saying this. I mean, I am, and I'm also making it up. But I feel like there's not enough chances for swimmers to really get out there. And they're like, let's race. Let's freaking get in the water. Let's race. Versus a sprinter who's like, hey, man, you want to race me to that stop sign real quick? And they just do it, okay? I feel like there's not enough chances to show off as a swimmer. So I think what I'm saying here is stop swimming. I think, choose a sport that you can actually show off in. You want to throw a football? You want to catch something? You want to shoot a hoop? Like, talked about being clean and nice, and just spilled water all over my pants and all over my shirt, and it's all over I'm drooling now. So anyways, yeah, I feel like there's not enough chances to show off and, choose something better, I guess. That's what I'm saying. I guess soccer doesn't have hand-eye coordination, but again, that's probably also the worst sport ever. So I don't know, guys. I've just hyped up bowling and then tore down Olympic sports. That's just who I am, guys. So anyways, what else is happening, dude? Ow, I burnt my mouth. That's kind of the reason I need to stop eating. Good thing this 24-hour fast should keep me sane. I used to make fun of my mom, actually. Like, moms are so sweet that no matter how old you get, okay, I'm 25, if I pick up something, just a bowl of macaroni, and it's pretty warm, and she goes, careful, it's hot. And, ideally, the logic is to go, yeah, I know. I'm holding it. I can feel it. Like, if anything, before you put it in your mouth, you can usually feel it already. And I used to think that was a very silly thing. Careful, it's hot. Like, yeah, I have more senses on it than you do. But then I burnt my mouth, and my mom wasn't around, and I was like, oh, I get it. I can't be trusted to eat. So this is a problem going forward. So I'm never going to make fun of my mom for that ever again. And also, Mom, please, just follow me anytime I'm about to eat something. Because, like, yeah, I know it's so... Oh! I didn't know! I thought the heat transferred to the spoon. It didn't happen correctly. So, was not too keen on that. What else is happening? Oh, actually, speaking of heat. Okay, now this is a midnight kind of hour topic I'm going to talk about. But I was theorizing heavily the other day that, look, I've never claimed to be intelligent, smart, or even, I couldn't even think of another word for smart. But I will say, you ever notice how food cools miraculously fast? Okay? Like, if you have a nice hot plate of food, like I cooked chicken last night, and I left it on the counter because, I went and ate snacks instead. But I left it on the counter, and the chicken cooled so fast. Okay, it's hot, and then it's not. Right? Now I get you're like, well, where are you going with this? You have a cup of coffee. How fast is this coffee cool? What is the energy process and the heat transfer back into the air? But not only that, okay? Who is it? Are you high? No. Look, the idea that food, I feel like hot food cools off, and one, that's energy. Every action has an equal opposite reaction. That energy can be harnessed in some way. But also, what I was dude, I'm really just speaking. I feel like cold food takes a lot more to warm up than warm food takes to cool down. Okay, that was my thesis. All right, that's what I wanted to get to. There's not a microwave for hot things to get cold. All right, we don't have an immediate way to, you could put it in the freezer, but that's not like the microwave in the way that we can heat up the molecules and it's easy to just kind of blast it and nuke it. I feel like it takes a lot more energy to heat something up than it does to cool it down, because cold, okay, being cold is just the absence of heat, but heat in itself is an energy that thing lacks and takes more of it to make it. And it's faster. You can lose energy faster than you can gain it. Yes, he just made that up. Okay, now if somehow for some reason you guys got on board with that, you're like, wait a minute, he might be making sense. Obviously, it's because for something to go like an ice cream to heat it up to room temperature versus to drop something else from like 80 degrees, there's just a lot to reach room temperature or whatever. It's an easier line of sight for something warm to drop than it is to rise. But whatever. I don't want to cross-examine myself and prove my own theories wrong. So anyways, guys, I think that's all I really have to talk about. I know it's a bit of a shorter episode, but also like I'm all over the place and I don't know if I can really go into anything else confidently without falling over. Like that last little food thing we just went on, I'm spacing out. I think I'm going to break the fast. That's right, guys. All right? I thought I was going to do it. I don't care about my gut biome anymore. I care, like, whatever I do, I'm going to make sure it's not cold because my mom's not awake, and I need to make sure that I'm eating, safely. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming around, tuning in. Don't tip your dentists because they're not going to do a good job. Unless they do, then, by all means, tip them. Don't be a swimmer. Don't get cavities, and don't self-report if you do. And I don't know, eat, keep your mom, like, I don't know, guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm all over the place. I promise next week will be better. I'm getting back in my routine. Life is coming around. March is a new year. Why did he say year? Okay, guys, I gotta go. Oh, please.